This is little Eddie here. I guess he decided that he'll be conducting satsang today. Ian, how are you? Let us pray. It was a joke. Right now, turn your attention around towards yourself. Close your eyes. And what do you experience as you? What do you feel as you? What are you aware of? Right now, for example, I have a hard time thinking. My attention is solely on myself. There's very little thought processing going on. And I just observe. I observe myself, my body, my purring cat around me. And when I withdraw my attention to my body, into being awake, then sentient, my body becomes an ocean of light and of ecstasy in the background and the foreground. It's hard to describe what I feel and what I see, because the kind of words to describe inner states really isn't a part of American dialogue. But right now, what I feel is I feel like a solid. By that I mean steady and powerful, self-aware lump. I don't characterize myself as having a form, although from the outside I'm pretty sure of what I look like. But really, that's not me. Me is pre-verbal. Me is the awareness of awareness. Me is feeling little Eddie's claw in my wrist. Me is in bliss. The whole world is frozen for me, locked inside of me. And my body is amorphous. It doesn't have a clear outline. But wherever it is and I can find it, there's a very subtle vibration, like rate. That fills me with joy. That is that joy. It's the state I look to provide comfort and understanding, not during the moment I'm experiencing it, because all I feel here now is a sense of peace, of the deepest well-being. My flesh, especially in my mid-back and chest, is ecstatic. When the mind stops thinking, one's body seems to come alive. You're aware of its feelings. Sink into your body. Feel your body. Your body, it's not you. It's your body. There's a difference between who you are and what your body is feeling. You as the subject, how the body feels as an object. But people are so enraptured by what's happening to them in the world and trying to attain perfection or at least some sort of usefulness. Because I think in the West, it's all about personal engagement into the other, into the world, to other people. But from the Eastern point of view, it's to be found by looking at the self. And by self, I mean the witness and the apparatus that the witness uses to experience and to understand things. I no longer have any need for understanding, because I deeply know that there is no truth anywhere. The search for truth is a laugher. The whole concept of truth is bullshit. The world has so many different shapes and processes and subjects and objects that even the cleverest mind may understand it, but to experience that drama inside is what makes for ecstasy, bringing the outside into the inside and watching it all turn to bliss. I feel a subtle vibration throughout my body, but mostly in my chest and gut, and secondarily in my hands and forearms and legs. Put your feet on the floor as you sit. Ground yourself. Or lie on the floor. Your eyes closed, listening to my voice. Spirituality is all about you. Discovering who and what you are. I don't mean in the sense of what you should look like or be doing, but about the basic state of being conscious and aware of the outside and the bliss associated with that. A bliss that's there for all, if but you open your heart to the experience of another through contact or touch or nearby. I want to wish Ian rapid recovery, so we can get his sarcasm back online as soon as possible. It's really hard for me to talk because I'm totally drowning in bliss. My body feels totally alive. And there's a very subtle trembling going on in that bliss. That may be the bliss, the ecstasy of the body. And you feel your own bliss. How would it take shape in you? Where does it start from? Where are the margins between you and not you? The yawning is a kind of progressive relaxing into myself. My body is just bursting with energy. Which is ecstatic at this level. It feels like if it were to blow through me, it would be too powerful for me to bear. Every time I yawn, I sink more deeply into myself. In meditation, we look for first the quiet mind, and then an openness to whatever emerges from below in the unconscious. That transition can also be ecstatic. Sink into yourself. Sink into your body until you feel I guess you feel spent. You're used up. And what is left over is the awareness of you being used up by time, I guess. When you look into yourself and feel into yourself, what do you find? A descriptive word. It's you, looking for you, or in my case, me, in my own self. I have to keep my attention continuously on myself in one form or another. But it's always pointing inward, this finger of consciousness towards the inner world. The inner world is so much different from the external world. The inner world is ruled by magic, not scientific laws. Willpower and intention make a lot of actually makes a great deal of use of this. You watch your mind as you go to sleep. Watch your body as you go to sleep. See what happens to consciousness, how it distorts and comes apart. But you, sweetie, you feel the bliss of your own body at rest, especially when your mind shuts down too, and you start going deeper into yourself. And then you altogether stop, and there's no more movement going up or down, in or out. You just seem to be resting. Ian, can you speak? No. Can you feel bliss? No. I feel good. Are you feeling bliss, Eric? Just hold your body steady. And you'll have many experiences on the way to perfecting your rest in yourself over a period of years. I'm just a little bit surprised that I'm in bliss most of the time. If you scan your body, progressively upwards from your toes, when you find a blockage or a place where your awareness cannot move inside your body, be aware of what happens to you. And you find that power inside of you in the silence of your own self. I doubt anybody has any questions. But if you do, ask them.
You're awake for us this morning. Oh, really?
I hope that's alcoholic. Okay, what are you feeling now?
When you first started talking, it was very subtle but very powerful. I felt myself expanding into the room. It never really happened quite that way. I started to, I don't know.
It is, isn't it?
It was, I won't say it was bliss, but it was kind of grace, like God manifesting grace in a way that just, I don't know, there was less J and more of grace and more of God's presence in a much deeper awareness. Your words are so perfect and powerful, and I feel the power, and it takes me to a very deep peace and grace, and it's just so abiding, and it's exquisite. I'm still working on bliss, but this is pretty exquisite. Getting down with it right now is really, it's joy, very, very deep, very incredible Shakti, incredible love from the Sangha. It all just coalesces. It's like a confluence of bliss and joy, and you bring it to me, and I'm down with it, and I love it, and it's gentle, and I love you.
I love you too. Mark, what do you experience?
Much the same as I usually do. It's stronger than it was when you asked me last time. I pretty much experience the same as you, or pretty similar, except that right now my level of bliss is not as powerful as what you're describing, but it's lower level, but it's very pleasant. And sometimes it gets very, very strong, but not right now. But I could feel it throughout my body. I could feel it around me. The other thing that I noticed, difference from what you talked about, is, for me, probably for you too, but you didn't talk about it, spaciousness is a big part of it. So when I'm feeling, really myself, really at ease, the spaciousness is palpable. It's like a dark spaciousness with this kind of low level but perceptible greenish kind of light with sometimes other colors. And so in addition to what you talked about, there's a sound, and there's the visuals, and there's the feeling. And the feeling, as I keep saying, is the linchpin of the whole thing. For me, it's the most important part of it, is the feeling. But the visuals, the spaciousness, the bliss, the feeling, the body, everything that I experience is mirroring the feeling. And the feeling is one of peace, no thought, or rarely any thought, spaciousness, abundance, calm, and at times varying levels of euphoria. And generally there's a low level of euphoria there all the time, or most of the time, but right now it's at, I would say, it's at a low but very noticeable level. It's very pleasant. And the only other thing I wanted to mention, Edgy, is that for some reason, my perception of my body is different. So the trunk area, like the heart, the stomach, all that stuff, I don't feel like a lot there. Where I feel it is in my feet, in my hands, my forearms, in my face, my mouth, to a certain extent to my head. So basically in my extremities, but the middle part, the trunk, there's a little bit going on there, but it's not as noticeable. So I assume that over, as time goes on, that could change, because everything has changed a lot from even 2 years ago. I mean, it's similar to 2 years ago, but it's much better than it was 2 years ago. It's much freer of impediments or obstructions to live to live without a narrative, without self-judgment or any kind of thought is wonderful. And just the feeling, the intuition, the emotions, the feeling guides me effortlessly without the intermediary of an ego narrating and evaluating everything. So that's all I want to say.
Just had one of those. Yep. Yeah. All right.
Sounded like you, Ian. How you doing, buddy?
Chris, what about you? Just told me to go fuck myself. He's busy. Buddy, you're a very stout sitter, I should say.
What does that mean?
You don't move.
I used to be called a wriggler by one teacher I had.
You what?
I had a teacher who used to call me the wriggler.
No more.
Not so
no
much. More. I get a lot of hot flushes and itching on my head and spine, so sometimes I do move a lot more. I'm going like this and like this, but not this evening or today anyway, so much.
I used to think all the time, what the hell's the advantage of this meditative state? It always passes. But the thing is, I lead a very primitive existence. I don't do anything. I don't want to do anything. I'm so happy not doing anything. And the less I do, the happier I get. Maybe when I'm dead, I'll be ecstatic constantly. I'm shooting for that. Ecstasy and death. I'll write a book. And I won't publish it. Because I want people to shut up and be their own witness. Be witness to your own bliss. It's inside of you. And the more still you can sit, the more you can feel it. But after a while, you pass through the bliss and back to ordinary consciousness. And you might say, well, what's the good of having temporary states of ecstasy when it doesn't last? But if I were to have that ecstasy and that depth of consciousness all the time, I would be totally dysfunctional. As it is, my dysfunction is totally voluntary. I love it.
Hey, Ed.
Yes.
You used to talk about the divine presence or the divine energies as the other. You would call it the other or something other than yourself, because that's how it felt to you. But I haven't
Now
heard
they're
you.
all me. Now it's all me.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. You feel like it's more integrated now. It's all you.
It's all me.
Yeah. Beautiful.
How do you feel?
It's still the other. Yeah.
Okay? Are you going to get another cat? That's a hard decision to make when you're your age.
No, I won't. We would go to I wouldn't get a kitten necessarily. I have a friend who is a rescue person, and I might check back with her because I think my wife and I would like to have a cat. My kids, my whole thing is that Gypsy was Gypsy, and I don't. But they requite something that's very special, being half in and half out of this world, and I feel like I need that. I need a cat rush. So yeah, it could happen.
Feel your bodies. Close your eyes and feel your bodies. Drop down into your body. Drop out of your head and go into your body. When you sink then below your neck, there's no more thoughts. And what is there is an ocean of aliveness, beingness, which grows ecstatic the more you experience it. Although the experience isn't so dramatic that you can be nailed to it, you can take it or leave it. And you take it mostly to see if there's anything new there. It's really hot here in Arizona now. Like it's close to 120 degrees some days. But a normal day is around 110 or so. And at this time of the year, the humidity is creeped up to 40 or 50%, so it can feel uncomfortable. But mostly how I would characterize Arizona is as hot. Incessantly hot. I know it's not that hot during the winter, but I don't remember the winters. I remember the summers because they're so remarkably uncomfortable. But I solved that problem by not leaving the house anymore. And I order out everything. I've never been happier. Because so much of my attention is now focused on me. And it becomes ecstatic experience. Heal you. Especially look at the area of your upper back, the spine, and out to the sides to your shoulder blades. So much can happen in this area. When you look into yourself and you're not so busy anymore, you get more and more blissful. Wouldn't you say that, Mark?
100%. Absolutely.
Stay in peace. Feel the peace deepen and give rise to all kinds of strange new energies inside your body. You begin to be able to see energies in your body all the time, moving everywhere. Why don't you take over, Mark, if you want to?
Sure. Can do.